finished product. When you turn them to finished product, you assemble them in a warehouse. Just like I said, so I've also talked about production process, where you have to start all over from getting the product, putting it together, classify them, branding them, and then you start distributing them. But here in manufacturing entrepreneur, the entrepreneur has to do with turning the raw material to finished product. From finished products, you assemble them. When you assemble them, of course you brand them and also push them to the wholesaler. Wholesaler will push them to the retailer. Retailer will now push them to final consumer that are the end users. Now we also have agri entrepreneurs. Nowadays, the mostly favored type of entrepreneur by the government is agricultural entrepreneur. The agricultural entrepreneur, which we call agri entrepreneur. Agricultural entrepreneur has to do with farming, either a commercial farming or sustainable farming. If you are an agricultural entrepreneur, which has to do with producing crops from the farm and taking it to the market for sales, and this is basically what an agricultural entrepreneur does. And so therefore, if you are an agricultural entrepreneur, it's either you go of full scale commercial farming, where you will sell your product for cash. You drop the sustainable farming. Yes, you can still take part of the sustainable farming for feeding, but the agricultural entrepreneur mostly is on cash sales, which of course you are looking for money to back up the business to flow from one end to the other. So agricultural entrepreneur is one of the most lucrative business these days, because if you look at the kind of business people do now, it's mostly on food. And the food itself, you have to do what? Without food, no one can actually live. But because people, the daily need of people, first of all, is food. And that food is coming out from agricultural entrepreneur. It's either you are doing mechanized farming or you are doing manual farming, which is the traditional form of farming. The traditional form of farming is you have to do with hoes, cutlass, and all of that. But the mechanized farming has to do with tractors, has to do with heavy equipment to do farm. That is, you'll be doing farm on a large scale. And so, if you do farm on a large scale, there is every tendency you are going to make a lot of money, because every home needs food, and therefore this food is coming from agriculture. Then we also have technopreneur. Technopreneur, it has to do with skill, talent, and skill of the people. If you are an entrepreneur, for instance, you have a skill where you can turn something around to be an invention, to be a new innovation. Like for instance, we don't know of Facebook before. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg come up with Facebook, and a lot of people key into it. This is entrepreneur. Like I told you before, entrepreneur is all about creativity, bringing out new things, what people don't know before. You bring it out in your business. It's not just bringing out or invention, but in your business you have to be creative. Modernize it from one state, at a phase, from one phase to the other. You need to modernize your business, and modernizing your business is all about creativity. And therefore, technopreneur are mostly good at that, because like Facebook, for instance, the Facebook has been doing a lot for people to connect people for business, connect people to friends, connect people from one end to the other, from country to country, from state to state, and from house to house. And therefore, technopreneur is one of the very good business that people use to achieve a lot of success in their way of life. Then we also have state entrepreneurs. Those state entrepreneurs has to do with people, has to do with government entrepreneurs. When I say government entrepreneur, that is the entrepreneur owned by the state, and the state is mostly the type of entrepreneur is controlled by the state. For instance, Abuja Enterprise Agency is an entrepreneurial business that is owned by FCT government. Abuja Investment Company is owned by FCT government, and they are in charge of development in controlling the building infrastructure in Abuja. And also the AEA, that is Abuja Enterprise Agency, they are also training people to become entrepreneurs, and therefore these are example of state entrepreneurs, right? And then in fairness, we also have male and female entrepreneurs. They have to do with coming together of men to set up a business in order to make profit. The same thing happen with female entrepreneur. Female entrepreneur gather together, set up a business, and the business they contribute their money like a crowdfunding, and once they are coming together, their aim is to make profit. And so the female and male entrepreneur is mostly coming together of men and women, or men, or mostly coming together of men to do business to make profit. For the female entrepreneur, it's a gathering of women coming together to do business to make profit. That is mostly happening even in the rural area. In the rural area, you have people coming together to farm, coming together to trade, people coming together to do a skill together in order to make a profit, to attract a large crowd. Then we also have innovative entrepreneur. The innovative entrepreneur has to do with innovation. Whatever you are doing as an innovative entrepreneur, you need to put it together. When you start, after a phase, the first 5 years, you put up another innovation. In another 5 years, you put on another innovation into the business. Otherwise, the business will phase out. Because any business that is not into innovation, doing research in order to bring out new products, in order to modernize what you already have, then of course the business is bound to extend. For your business not to extend, you need to do what? You need to continue to innovate into your business. Because if you go and sleep because you are selling or because you are making money, you go and sleep. One day you just wake up and they tell you that there are so many of these business around, and therefore you'll be finding your way out of the business. And also we also have imitating entrepreneurs. Imitating entrepreneurs. They are the type of entrepreneur that goes into business by imitating others. They go into business by imitating others. And by the time you look at all of that and you discover that there are so many imitated products, we also call them kind of recycling entrepreneurs, because they recycle other people's business, and imitation, they imitate other people's business. And therefore, for an entrepreneur, for you to become an imitated entrepreneur, you have to look at what other people are doing. How do I really start? Especially those people that doesn't have an idea, they try to imitate other people's product, and because of that, people normally sometimes they get arrested because they try to imitate other people's product. The law enforcement agent normally arrest such people. But before you do that, you have to form a synergy with somebody who already have the product. And if you form a synergy with that person, and of course that person will give you a license, or he give you a license, or he give you a franchise to operate the business. Like Mr. Beast we have today started from somebody, and the person who started the business later give it as a franchise to so many other persons. The Mr. Beast you have today is not the original Mr. Beast. It's the Mr. Beast that the people have been given a franchise to run a Mr. Beast business, and therefore you find out that those people that are doing it are not doing it like the original person that were doing it, and therefore we find out that they lose so many customers, and most of them have shut down. And therefore, if you want to imitate a product, He said that the best bet is for you to go for a franchise instead of copying and paste. You do you whatever the person is doing, you go to inside your factory and start manufacturing the same thing. Fine. No, because if you do that, instead that you are arrested, or the person will charge you for impersonation. Because of, if you don't want that, you just seek for a franchise from the person. The person will give you a franchise to produce this kind of business. But mark you, in franchise you need to do what? You also need to pay royalties every year, or depending on the agreement, you see the royalty to the person who owned the business originally. Then we also have researcher entrepreneurs. Researcher entrepreneur, those are people who go into business by doing a research, and mostly they do research for when they commercialize their research. If you are a researcher entrepreneur, after doing the research, you commercialize it to industrial people. You commercialize it to other entrepreneurs to look at it, and then if they find it useful, they pay you for the service and take the product, and you begin to do it. You begin to now, market it and sell it or turn it to product, and you begin to use it for your business. Then you also have buyer entrepreneurs. Buyer entrepreneur is kind of somebody who is buying already made. Those people who sell other people's products, what people now call affiliate marketing or thereabout, these are buyer entrepreneurs. The buyer entrepreneur has to do with what? Has to do with, you buy already made goods, you sell at your own profit. Because if you want to buy, if you are a buyer entrepreneur, the buyer entrepreneur has to understudy the market. You know what the people want, you know what they want to do, and you now know what to do, and then bring the product to the doorstep of the people. So buyer entrepreneur is a very simple entrepreneur that anyone can start. But don't forget, we want to stop here for so far so good. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and copy. So my number is 080 71 873 119. Again, my number is 080 71 873 119. Another number is 081 48 19 97 94. 081 90 93 94. Another one is 081 48 90 97 94. So see you in my next video. Thank you.